In this video, we're going to talk about relative clauses. So, what is a relative clause? It's true that a relative clause is a clause that has a subject and verb, but it certainly can't stand alone as a sentence. It's sometimes called an adjective clause because it functions as an adjective. It modifies the noun by giving more information about it. A relative clause can help us get more information into a sentence without the need to start a new one. A relative clause can be introduced by a relative pronoun like who, which, whom, whose, and that. For example, that's the girl who called me yesterday. In this example, the relative clause is who called me yesterday, which actually modifies the noun, which is girl. It tells which girl we're talking about. The relative pronoun who is used to connect these clauses in the sentence. There are two types of relative clauses: restrictive clauses and non-restrictive clauses. Sometimes these are referred to as defining, non-defining, and essential, non-essential clauses. What does that mean? What is a restrictive clause and what is a non-restrictive clause? Well, the first thing that I want you to bear in mind is that both clauses modify the noun. But what is the difference? I prefer talking about non-restrictive clauses first. So, a non-restrictive clause just provides bonus information. It's not essential for meaning. It does modify the noun, but it never identifies it or specifies it. So, if it's taken out of the sentence, the meaning would not be affected. It would just stay the same. Let's take a look at this example. The Alchemist, which was written by Paulo Coelho, is my favorite book. The Alchemist is the name of the book. And this clause here is a non-restrictive clause because it's extra information, which is not essential. So we'll add our commas here, which means that the clause can be omitted without affecting the meaning. My mother, who's 86, lives in Paris. It's obvious that I only have one mother. Everybody has one mother, right? Well, at least that should be the normal reality. So, the relative clause whose 86 is bonus information, which is not essential for meaning. And that's what a non-restrictive clause stands for. Now, I'm pretty sure that you can already guess the function of restrictive clauses. So, let me tell you that a restrictive clause does not only give additional information about the noun, but it also identifies or specifies the noun. This makes it essential, which means that if it's taken out of a sentence, the meaning would be affected. Please notice that restrictive clauses are not offset with commas. Let's take a look at this example. The girl who broke the window is my sister. The relative clause, who broke the window, describes the girl. It's not just an additional information, it's essential for understanding. Actually, there is nothing grammatically wrong with this sentence. The girl is my sister. However, it doesn't have the same intent as the former example, which was to identify the girl. The man who stole my backpack has been arrested. The relative clause who stole my backpack is restrictive. It's essential information. It specifies the man. Without this information, we would not know which man exactly we're talking about. Relative pronouns. We already know that relative pronouns can join sentences together. Relative pronouns refer to nouns mentioned previously, whether they are people, things, animals, or ideas. A relative pronoun can function as a possessive pronoun, an object, or a subject. The most common relative pronouns are who, whom, whose, which, and that. Sometimes relative adverbs like when, where, and why can be used as relative pronouns as well. Who is used for people. This is the man. He helped me yesterday. So, to join the two clauses together, we would like to use who. The subject here is the man. So, this is the man who helped me yesterday. The relative pronoun who is the subject of the relative clause. So, subject plus verb plus object. This is the man. I helped him yesterday. Here, the man is not the subject. I is the subject. I am the one who helped the man. This is the man who I helped yesterday. So, who is the object? I is the subject. Helped is the verb. The relative pronoun who can be used as the subject or the object of the relative clause. Whom is used for object pronouns for people, especially in non-restrictive clauses. In restrictive clauses, we use who. Whom is more formal, and it's only used in written English. The girl whom I met at the party failed the exam. Whom refers to the girl, which is the object of this sentence. So here we have whom, which is the object pronoun, plus subject plus verb. The doctor whom you told me about is very famous. Object pronoun, subject, verb. Whose is used for possession. It's used for people, animals, or things. It must be followed by a noun. Do you know the girl whose father is a dentist? The dentist is the girl's father. So here, whose is used before the noun. In this case, father, instead of her. father, to indicate possession. Which is used for things or animals. It can be used as a subject or an object of the relative clause. Example: the fish which I ordered was delicious. Which here is an object pronoun. It refers to fish, which is the object of the sentence. So, object plus subject plus verb. The fish which is on the table is delicious. So here, the fish is the subject of the sentence. So, which is the subject pronoun? So, subject plus verb plus object. That can be used for things and people only in restrictive clauses. Clauses that are essential to the sentence. An elephant is an animal that lives in hot countries. So that here is a subject pronoun. So that plus verb. The man that I met yesterday was an English teacher. So here that is an object pronoun. That plus subject plus verb. Notice that we can replace that with which in this sentence, and that would make it formal. We can also say the man who or whom I met yesterday was an English teacher. Relative adverbs are used like relative pronouns. Where is used for a place. The mall where I used to shop. When is used for a time. The time when I last met you. Why is used for a reason. The reason why I came here is not important. Time for some practice. Choose the correct relative pronoun.